Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spicy Divorce Party Planner TV show. I'm your host, Spice, and today I have two very special guests. I've been anticipating them for a while now, and the reason why is they got this fabulous new app that will help a lot of divorcees and single people track down some fools that have, just left us behind without a clue. So today we have the creator of Closurely, Arthur Walker, and relationship expert, SHAUNTAY DUNBAR.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Can you guys let them know what city you guys are representing today?
New York City.
New York.
Yes, the Bronx, baby.
Yes. You guys are my first guest from New York. So I'm so excited to have you. Yes. Now we got both coasts on here.
Yeah. We love being first.
You guys are both beautiful, I must say.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for you.
So, you guys, first of all, what does ghosting mean?
Well, SHAUNTAY has the best definition for that. She's answered that before.
So, a ghosting is the act when someone you are dating completely disappears. No more phone calls, no warning, no text, emails, nothing. They just pretty much fall off the face of the earth, leaving you with no excuse on why they're gone. They just poof, vanish, gone, ghost.
Have you guys ever encountered that? Or are you guys just too cool for that?
No.
Even beautiful people have been ghosted too, huh?
Yeah, it happens to everyone, I think, at least once.
Okay. So Arthur, you're the genius behind this. Arthur, right? You created this app?
Yes, I created it.
Can you tell us why and what it is about?
Well, certainly. So I definitely not only have been ghosted, but I know what it is to ghost others.
Ooh.
So yeah, with that, I realized that a lot of people are hurting inside because they never why, like what's going on. So then I figured, like, what if I could actually find out what's going on? And I truly feel like a lot of relationships that people are trying to get into nowadays, it's hard because people are holding on to their past. And so because of that, it's hard for them to move on with their future and to have lasting relationships. So I figured I'd put this app together, then team up with somebody like SHAUNTAY, and then we just made it happen from there.
Awesome. So why'd you pick SHAUNTAY?
So I noticed that she was doing her thing. Up and I just needed her to trust in me. And I said, SHAUNTAY, I got this idea. I know it may sound crazy, but I would just love for you to come aboard with me. And of course, at first she was a little hesitant, like, I don't even believe in that. And I'm like, SHAUNTAY, I'm gonna show you it's serious. And then I started sending her all of the articles and everybody on TV talking about it. I started showing her the people that was hitting the app just to make her a believer.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea because so many people have been ghosted and they always wonder, like, what happened to this dude? Why doesn't he call me back? So I think it's a great idea. But Arthur, what type of work were you doing before this?
So I've been in startups before. I used to be a barber in a barbershop. I did that for like 12 years. Okay. So I'm sure you can imagine the stories that I have of men and what they've been out here doing and what females do for men. So I hear it all, and I knew it all.
Okay, I was thinking maybe you're part of Judge Mathis's team.
I wish. They can pull me up if they want to.
Judge Mathis be looking good and fly and everything. You look like you be working with him.
I try to set it up. You got to connect.
Right. So SHAUNTAY, I know you're working on I was going to say a few things, more like a million things, but you, right? You're doing it all. But you're also an author, right? So can you tell us about your book, your latest book?
So my book, Diving in Stilettos First, Memoirs of Dating Mr. Right Now, is a dating memoir about my life in New York City after an annulment. So it's me like diving back into the dating scene of New York City, and I take you through all the shenanigans that I go through with meeting all these different guys. And ultimately, in the end, it's kind of like I was dating the same guy in like different forms. So it was like the jerk was like a teacher, a doctor, a chef. Like they were in all kinds of forms, and I had to self-reflect and take a minute and be like, okay, why is none of this working? Like, what's the common denominator? And it was me, obviously. So I had to change my methods and ways in order to attract what I really deserve. So that's what it's ultimately about. But yeah, I share some hilarious stories, and my friends are in it, family, coworkers. Yeah, I tell it all.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of women are going to want to read that book because many of us can relate, because we tend to date the same person over and over. But like you said, in different forms. So I want to read that book. And we might have to have you back on here again to talk more about this book.
I will send you a copy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Do men use Closurely too, or is it just women?
Surprisingly, we've had more men use it than women to date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they've been getting ghosted too. I'm glad to hear that.
The roles have been reversed out here.
I agree with you now. After we've been dogged out for so long, like you about to get a taste of your own medicine. So I guess ladies are doing it too, huh?
They're doing
it.
Okay. The one thing for me is good that at least women are more willing to talk more than men. So for me, it's a little bit easier to get the answer from a woman than it is from a man.
Okay.
To find out like what happened.
Yeah, I'm really interested in why some of these men have been ghosting the women, but we'll get into that a little bit further down. So do people ghost their friends and family members, or do they just ghost ex-partners?
People ghost everybody. Let me tell you, parents will ghost you, kids will ghost the parents, siblings. It's happening out here all over. Like nowadays, everybody just wants to be independent and be themselves. So they like, I don't care. I'm just living my life.
Yeah, so they don't want to be involved with any kind of like negative energy anymore. So they just remove themselves from the situation, since that's the only person they have control over. So they just disappear. And these people are like, well, where did they go? It's like,
do you think that's a good idea, Shantae, since you're a relationship expert? Because I tend to do that too. Sometimes I just like, you know what, this is just too much for me. I can't deal with this no more. Or should we stay and remain friends with these people, or should we move on?
You should definitely move on. I mean, if you want to make an announcement about your departure and explain why you're leaving, I mean, that would be a mature thing to do. But for some people, it could be a waste of breath, and they know the person that they're dealing with. They know that they're never going to change. So it's like, why am I like kind of beating a dead horse? I might as well just move on. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. So a lot of times people just move on and not say anything. You get tired of explaining yourself over and over again, especially to adults who you have to have an idea that you're doing something wrong, right? People keep like and disappearing. Like at some point you have to say, am I the toxic one? You know, so no one owes you any explanation really. And I think that's a lot of the misconception. People think that someone owes it to them to explain why they're doing what they're doing. And the reality of it is, you know, your behavior got you in this situation. So I don't have to deal with it. So
I'm glad you told me that, because I wrestle with that like on a weekly basis, monthly basis throughout the year. I'm like, should I have remained friends with these people? Should I have been, you know, okay, good. That's all I need to hear. I'm glad. You just freed me from a few situations.
Make new friends, girl. People who are doing what you're doing, like-minded, goal-oriented. Those are the people you want to be surrounded with, not those other people.
But Cassandra, I do want to say though, if you do get somebody that hits you up that says, "Can you give me the answer and let me know why?" Please answer that, because that might be us.
I know some of the reasons why too. I got a list of reasons why.
And that means that somebody's still hurting inside and they still ain't over it. And so I feel like if they've hit that rock bottom to where they really want to find out, what I'm learning is some people truly don't understand. A lot of us, we might think that they know. Some people have no idea. They're, you know, they've been hurt so bad that they're just doing back to others what happened to them. And then they don't even know, because they haven't been around people like Shantae and I who've actually lived it, and then we've overcame it. So if you've never been to the other side to where you're living your life out here, then how would you ever know? You're probably still surrounded around people that are still doing the same thing. So you don't know how to change.
That's true. That's why I'm glad I have both of you guys. fucking comments on both of you guys. I'm like, help us, please. So what I was gonna ask, what has been one of the funniest reasons why someone has been ghosted?
Any reason? Let's see.
Author.
So I wouldn't say it's funny. I got like a few different reasons why like guys and girls do the ghosting, but I really wouldn't say it's anything funny because of course it's hurting somebody else, so I really don't want to laugh at that.
Me and Shauntae will laugh for you. Just like
so I'm gonna give y'all one for women, and I know women hate to hear this. You know, it probably hurts y'all inside, but especially when some guys be like that they were only out for one thing, right? So then once they get it, it's like I don't need to talk to her anymore, right?
Yeah.
So that's something big right there. Now something that's not funny, but it really makes you question like more guys that you date, is that some guys are only with women as like only because of like their jobs, their family, and their society. But some of them are behind the scenes, they like other men. And they can't let everybody know that. So they're doing it because their jobs are looking for people who have the whole family, right? So if you show up to your family, you look a certain way, right? Then your own family presses you like, why you don't have no kids and why you don't have no family, right? So now you got guys that's doing it for those reasons. And then when they walk out here in society, they don't want society to be like, oh, you soft, you're a sucker, right? So now they go into a relationship with a girl, giving up the facade, having a kid with her, but really never really wanting it until that day that they're like, oh, it's over, and then they just up and they leave, you know?
Okay, so a lot of them are just putting on fronts then, huh?
Yeah, some of them, they just have a double life. And now I'll get into the women real quick. Two situations for women.
Yes.
Some women do it just to get back at their ex, right? They was with somebody, felt like he hurt them, and then obviously they go out here and start running with somebody else. They never really love the new guy that they're with. They're just doing it because they were hurt. So now they're with somebody else. Yeah, and then when they're done, like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I already knew it. You wasn't the one. I was just doing it to be doing it, you know?
Wow.
And then lastly, some women do it because they lose interest in a man, especially men that won't leave. You know what I mean? Like some women, they do want a woman do want a man who sooner or later does like kind of sort of take control and like, honey, this is what we're doing. Let me help you. Let me guide you, you know, and this is where we're headed.
A leader. A leader.
Yeah, but if the guy gets too soft and is like, oh, I'm just waiting for you, honey, to do everything, and then if she's doing everything and then he can't be compatible to that, and what I mean by that is if she gets the money, he at least needs to know how to handle it at home. You know what I mean? Or if she's working hard, he at least needs to know how to handle the kids so she could do what she need to do. You know? But if there's no balance, she don't need him. So somebody's gonna go somebody in the future.
I feel that. We don't want to carry the whole load and they're not doing anything. Like I'm pulling up to pick you up to take you to a job interview. No, thank you. It's like, no, thank you.
A job interview.
Been there, done that. I'm done. Okay. Like, has an ex-wife or ex-husband ever contacted you guys to find out like why their partner just bounced out? So,
yes, we did have that. Remember, Shantae, that one was pretty bad because when the woman did contact us back, she said that the guy was like abusive and abusive,
alcoholic.
Yeah, right. So that was tough.
Oh, okay, so some ex-wives or ex-husbands contact the show. I mean, not the show, but the app. That's why.
Yeah.
But you guys are thinking about creating a TV show too, right?
That was the goal. The show Ghosted by MTV, they beat us to it, but we still gonna work it and we gonna get there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy with that.
Everybody's story different.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you guys created the app because I would have never thought of something like that.
Yeah.
Are there any charges for Closely for using the app?
Yeah, so no, there's no charges right now. And actually, we did do a change. Yeah, we did do a change. The change now is we actually just tell everybody to go to the website, closurelyapp.com, because we realize there's a lot of iPhone users. Okay. And when you go to the app was created for Android users. So that limited our iPhone,
Mhm.
So because of that now, we just encourage everybody to go directly to the Closely app, which makes it more easy because all you got to do is just tell us what, are you there because you want answers? Are you there because you want to know, did your ex leave because of somebody else? And then once you pretty much set that up, then we'll reach out to you and then we'll get to work and get that answer for you.
Okay, so there's no charge?
Nah, no charge.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Like, I'm gonna tell all my friends about it now. Oh
Yeah.
my God, we don't have a big budget and we still want answers.
Yeah, that's all it is.
What type of feedback are you getting back after using Closely? Like, some of your clients or users, what have they said after using it? Did they have like positive responses, negative?
Mostly nervous.
Okay.
Like one guy. So the woman said, not only did she answer the questions, but then she was like, "Oh, if he wants to contact me, he could get back in touch with me." But now instantly, that made him feel overwhelming, and then he was just like, "I'm afraid, and I don't want to do it right now." Then he's like, "Maybe, maybe I will, maybe I won't." I
Mhm.
guess he just still wanted to see if there was a shot, if she would still talk to him. But he said that, she truly hurt him. And then sure enough, when I spoke to her and I said that he may, contact you, but right now he's not ready, then she said she can totally understand because she do know that she did do him wrong. And so for that, she don't expect him to just,
Yeah.
start all over like nothing happened.
Okay.
Mhm.
Shantae, so how long do your sessions usually last with the Closely app clients? Like when you reach out to them or you interact with them, is it like for a one time or is this like an ongoing process?
Well, eventually it'll be like an ongoing process. Right now, it's just answering emails. So I'll just respond to them and give them a whole like self-empowerment
Okay.
email to get them back and confident and out their feelings from the responses that they receive, because sometimes they do get a response and sometimes they don't get a response at all. So, that would tend to make someone feel away if you do make an effort to be bold enough to reach out and no one says anything. It's like, now what do I do? So I kind of help them get out of that like dark space and learn to love on themselves again. But eventually it will lead to like, calls. I would do consultations for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how serious the situation is and, where they're at in their journey. But eventually, like, my goal obviously is to help them start dating again. So
Okay,
for
good.
those.
I'm glad you're there to help them start dating because like the generation before me, like our parents, like they didn't date, like after they got divorced or they broke up, they went like for decades without dating anyone. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. We're meant to be with someone. So I'm like, I'm glad you're helping them date. And even some of my friends now, like they get divorced and they haven't dated anyone for like 4 years. Some people 10 years. I think that's just ridiculous. So I'm glad that
Yeah,
you help them.
if you're not using those years to like develop yourself, then it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't be a little like hermit crab and like shutting yourself off from the world. Like, that's not helping you either. So,
Yeah, that's not healthy at all.
mm-hmm.
Okay, I already asked you guys. Have you guys been ghosted? Do you guys have any ghosted stories? Or were you guys ghosted?
Yeah, Shantae could tell us first. Shantae, you said it was in your book, right? So people could go there and check it.
It is. I got ghosted. I talked about it in my book. I had rekindled with this guy that I used to date in college. And things were going pretty well. We were like talking on a regular basis or whatever. And then all of a sudden, he just disappeared.
Oh,
right? So this was like probably like a month or so. I didn't hear anything. I had reached out and I was like, hey, are you okay? Because that's my first thing, right? Before I like jump out the window. I'm like, are you all right? Are you safe?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I don't want to curse you out prematurely, right? So I'm like, are you all right? So I didn't hear anything. So I was just like, all right, it is what it is. And then one day I was in Home Goods, which is like one of my favorite stores, and I'm like shopping for like bed linens, and he calls.
Oh, okay.
And he calls and he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, what's up? Where the hell have you been? What do you mean, hey, what's up? And mind you, I'm in the store, so I'm like yelling like quietly, like in a pillow, like, what you mean? And I was like upset, and his excuse was that he was sick, and when he's sick, he doesn't like to talk to people. He likes his space. And I was like, well, next time you need to voice that, and I wish you the best of luck. And I bumped him.
Okay, so you never got back with him after that?
You know?
Yeah.
Everybody handles things differently, but yeah.
Okay, so you never went back to him then?
No, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of like use your words, say what you mean what you say. Like we're all adults or whatever. So it took a while. I'm not gonna sit there and say like, oh yeah, that was the end of it or whatever. We went back and forth a couple times, but it ended up with him being blocked because he is who he is. So
okay. What about you, Arthur? Were you ghosting people or what? Or you got ghosted?
So I'm gonna tell you the one where I actually ghosted somebody, and I actually feel bad about it. So that's also what makes me have a heart for like, wanting to help others. So one time I was dating a girl, and it was moving fast. She just wanted us to hurry up, hook up, all of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So next thing you know, I started to realize that her whole thing was she just wanted to get pregnant and have a child. But I didn't really want that. I already had a daughter. So now I caught her one time, like trying to set me up to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Right? So now as soon as I caught her and I realized I was onto that, I was like, oh, okay. So next thing you know, I actually had moved in with her too. She was like, oh, move in with me. I left my apartment, all of that. So we're moving with her. So then as soon as I started to see like that was her goal, hurry up and get pregnant, I was like, okay. She went to work one day. I wound up packing up all my stuff.
Oh, you're
have my brother come pick me up and all of that, and I just bounced. And then when I did it,
ghost right there.
And that's nothing. That's nothing. I didn't even want to give her the keys, so I mailed the keys to her.
That is a cold ghost, you guys. It's like, dang. Oh, mama come pick him up too. He's like, I'm out of here as fast as I can be. Oh, damn. She was trying to trap you then, huh?
Yep. I wasn't letting that happen.
Have they ghosted you too?
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I don't really remember too many stories of it because I'm one of those people that I try. So once you're hurt when you're younger, then you wind up getting a cold heart, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So if somebody do not hit me back, it's nothing to me. And I'll always feel confident that I know I can get back out there and do what I got to do. So I try not to let it bother me as much.
Okay. How do you help people after they learn why they've been ghosted?
So that's where I come in.
Yeah.
So once they find out, and we just talk about like what is it that you want to know from this person, right? Like, why are you so obsessed with finding out what happened with this person? So it's kind of like you have to decide, like, okay, am I a bad person just because this particular person didn't like me or didn't want to hang around? Like, am I such a terrible person because this person decided to leave me alone? Like, no. If you found out that the person said, oh, I didn't like your laugh, so I ghosted you. Are you going to stop laughing? Are you never going to laugh again? Right. So it's like you have to find the person that is right for you. And that person, they could be a good person. You might have thought they were a great person. They just weren't great for you. So it's about helping them realize that and know that, you're worthy of having someone who enjoys your laugh, who enjoys being around you, and those quirky things that got on someone else's nerves could be something that someone loves about you. So that's what I like work on with them, just helping them get their self-esteem back. But it's a process because people are hurt and they like allow other people's opinions of them to really like rule them. And it's really sad. So to get them into that like self-confidence and self-awareness and stuff like that, it's a journey. Self-awareness is definitely a journey, but it's worth it.
Well, I'm glad you're there to be their friend and to guide them, because a lot of people, I don't think they have friends, they don't have too many outlets yet.
Yeah, they
or
don't.
Support groups or anything like that. So that's great that they have you as a friend.
Yep.
Any suggestions on how to avoid being ghosted? Is there anything we can do so we won't be ghosted? No.
Anybody can get it.
That's a good question.
It's a free for all. Like anybody can, like it can happen at any moment, at any time. But it's about your reaction to it. What's your response if it happens? That's what you have control over, and that's what you should focus on. If you feel like, okay, this has happened, not like obsessing or not, you know, driving yourself crazy. Like, go on the app if you really want to know. Go on the app and say, hey, can you reach out to this person? I want some answers, and then can somebody help me heal?
Okay.
I want to date again.
Okay, good. Okay, so there's nothing we could do because people change their mind all the time. So yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Control over people. So
yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's all about it. It's all about us just helping you build your confidence back. I truly believe that all it is somebody just beat you down to the point to where we lose self-confidence in ourselves. And then so what happens is once you're down, like you feel like there's nothing else you could do, you know, you're just like stranded out there. So as you mentioned earlier, that's why it's so important. Like there's certain people that bring you out and get you back out into the world and around others. And then not only do we bring you out and show you, but you can see us doing it, right? So when you see how we live in and we making it out here, it'll definitely inspire you to be like, that's where I need to be. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Now, do you guys on the opposite side, do you feel that some people deserve to be ghosted?
Yeah, in my example, yeah, definitely. If a girl set a guy up, or a guy set a girl up, you definitely just gotta up and leave them. Don't stay there to see it happen.
Yeah. Like I don't
want
to by the wrong.
If someone's being abusive, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is, any kind of abuse, you don't owe them an explanation for saving your life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm leaving because you hurt. Like, no, I'm pulling the author, I'm packing all my stuff while you're not here.
Call up my mom. I'm out of here. Sending you the keys. He's like, I was nice enough to send you the keys. I'm just like, you should have sent her a baby shower invitation. No, I'm just like, I was like, oh my God.
I see.
I'm like, damn, they're really trying to trap her friend over here, Arthur. Okay, so this is a good one because a lot of my female friends or viewers, they ask, what advice do you have for women that feel like all men want is sex? I mean, is that true, Arthur? Is that like 99% of them want is just sex? Like, what are we supposed to do with that? Like, how are we supposed to date if that's all they want? Is that an accurate statement? Is that true, you guys?
So in my heart and my feelings, I truly think that, yeah, that's definitely needed. And I also feel like it's for both. Both people need it. Okay. Now I'm gonna spin it on you ladies. What I found, like just doing research and all of that, is most women don't really understand how to please themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So now for men, it's easier for us, right? So that's why we surface so much, because we know what it's like to have orgasms and all that. A lot of women are not really getting pleased. Mm-hmm. So now I think now when you put that into the equation, it's a lot harder, right? Because now if I'm talking about a girl who never was pleased before, and I'm a man who I know how to be pleased and all of that, if I come to you and then you're like, oh, I don't care about sex, I'm sure you wouldn't, right? You never even had an orgasm. You don't know how to, take care of yourself and, mentally, physically and that. So of course we're not going to really be on the same page from the beginning, Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, so now if your question was like, how does a woman handle that? I pretty much feel like it's a give and take in life, right? I feel like, when you understand that you're with somebody that is going to be like something that they care about the most. But now I feel like you have to put out on the table what you need, right? So An example would be, okay, I know he needs sex, right? But now you need something that's to be taken care of for yourself, right? Now, if it's not in a sexual manner, it could be, I need you to get out there and, bring home the money or do whatever you got to do, right? And then as he's doing that, he gets rewarded, through sex, if that's how you want to play it.
Yeah. That's what my friend used to say. She's like, I'll run some hot water for him, his bathtub, if he's bringing home the bacon, taking care of the house, building us a house. Then I'll do for him then.
I mean, I think it's all in like their personality too. I think you need to know yourself, right? If you're somebody who thinks that sex is something that is going to create a relationship, then maybe you should back up off of just having sex with whomever, because you know how you get attached. If you're one who can, separate sex from other things and it's just an activity for you, then I mean, obviously be careful, do your thing, no judgment. But like I said, a stage 5 clinger, maybe you shouldn't be out here like, just do what you do, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And,
you have to know
and
yourself.
so for a female like that, she needs to know how to take care of herself at home, so she don't have to be out here. That's how I feel about it. Same thing for a guy. If he takes care of himself at home, he won't have to be out here running around like that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Get your toy, ladies. You can't do anything in these Roman streets anyway, so you might as well just order your toys now on Amazon.
Go to my webpage and look for stuff.
Yeah,
In the near future, in the near future, we'll have some on there for you. Let's see here. What incentives do you guys offer for the people that have been ghosting people, and when they come with some answers, you guys offer incentives for them?
Of course. Like anything in life, it's all about give and take, is what I believe, right? So now, if I contacted you and I asked you, I told you that I had an ex that needed some closure from you, and I would first feel you out, right, to see, are you going to give it to me, or is there something that you would want in return? Because some people are cool, right? You could ask somebody and they'd be like, all right, I'll tell you, or whatever. But then others are like, I just don't want to tell you. So then for a person like that, we would be like, okay, so what would it take for you to tell me, And then I would start off with, would it take money or something like that? Try to figure out what it is that they even want. And before I get to the money part with them, I would actually ask the ex, like, what are they into? So if I knew you were into massages and they told me that, maybe I would come at you like, okay, what if I gave you, a spa package or something like that? Then, I would get to hear and feel you out to be like, oh, okay, I'll take that, just to give you that answer.
Well, does that hurt you financially? Because if you have to come out your pocket to pay for this massage and these clients aren't paying anything to use your app?
Yeah. So in the beginning, it all hurts me, but there's an ultimate goal with the whole thing. So Shantae and I, we really want to take this big, right? And we want to empower others to get out there and coach and to help others, right? And Shantae and I, we can only help but so many people. So the ultimate goal is to get towards the colleges, the institutes, and universities who provide life coaching and relationship experts.
Okay.
When we get to them, we're going to actually, based on all of the people that we have contacting us, we'll be able to give them, what we do in return, in exchange for money, so that we can make it from there.
Okay. Is this your first app that you created, Arthur?
Yeah, first app I created, yes.
Okay, wonderful. How can we get the Closurely app?
Well, as mentioned earlier, simply right now, just go on to closurelyapp.com, and it's simple and easy. You just go. All we need is your telephone number. We realize that a lot of people nowadays don't want to put in your email. You don't want to be tracked. You don't have to worry about none of that. Just put in your telephone number. We'll simply contact you based on what you say you want. We want to find out what the ex, why they broke up. We get the answer for you, and then we'll deliver it to the text to you.
Okay. Now, how can our viewers get in contact with either one of you or both of you directly?
Shantae can provide her info.
So you can reach out to me on my website, divinginstiletosfirst.com. You can also email me, divinginstiletosfirst@gmail.com. I'm not going to give out my phone number.
I know why. You're like, forget that. I'm not doing that.
But as with a few email exchanges, obviously we'll get to that point. But in the beginning, I don't give out my phone.
I understand.
And of course, I'm on Instagram, diving_in_stilettos_first. So I'm all over social media. Everything's diving
We will definitely for you. We will definitely be reaching out to you.
Yes, I love that comment. So cute. Thank you.
And so also for us, if you want to reach out to us on Instagram, you simply just type in lowercase Closurely, and we're also on Facebook as well. So you can find us there, those two areas, and on our website. And then we'll get you through to Shantae.
Okay. Now, our show, we usually close with any last words for an ex. Do you guys have any words for an ex out there? Or sign language or anything? No, just we've had it all.
I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to say, I pray for your peace.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yes, that was good right there.
What about you, Arthur?
I don't think I could do Shantae on that one. That was pretty
Any
good.
fingers you want to share?
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely second that. I definitely pray for y'all peace out here.
Okay, great. I'm so happy I had you guys on our show.
Thank
Definitely.
you
Well,
for
thanks for
having
having
us. This
Yeah.
is fun.
It was really, really fun, and I'm so excited because I know all the singles and divorcees, they'll be using your app. I can guarantee they'll be using your app because I have so many people on there, like they're just hurt. They don't have an answer to why. So I think this is a fabulous app, and I thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. It was great.
You're welcome. You guys have a nice one, and I'll see you soon.
Okay,
Thank
you as
you.
well.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.